Hi guys, welcome to the video. So today we'll take a look at another game in Armies of Exigo, and it will be another matchup between MaCrOzerg and Suvak. So let's unpause it. We are on the map Eclipse, and once again MaCrOzerg is playing on his Fallen and Suvak on Beast. A few videos ago I showed you two matchups, I think, or two of these matchups, MaCrOzerg against Suvak with these races, and Suvak actually managed to win both of them, which is of course really different from what was happening in the past, where MaCrOzerg was really confident in this matchup as Fallen, but lately we saw definitely some different results. So let's see how this game will end. Of course, Eclipse, there is kind of safe expansion, so we can go for that. At the same time, it's only two-player map, so there is a big chance for Suvak to gain some value here from minion harassment, which he is going for immediately, not even worrying about some early stables or immediate expansion or arena or whatever. And he wants to get here as soon as possible with the minion, because it's a two-player map. He doesn't have to actually search for the enemy, he just knows exactly where to go for it. So he just goes here and he will try to kill or at least harass the summoner, maybe lure out some minions, I mean harvesters, to slow down the economy of MaCrOzerg and overall gain some value from this. Of course, his villager is also not gathering, but minion is half as effective as harvester basically, so if you can pull with one minion, one harvester, it's kinda good. So he found the summoner, not even on unholy ground, not in control form, so this is a really easy kill, but MaCrOzerg has this response pretty quickly here, so he'll be able to bring the harvester. The summoner should be already running back, I think. Now he turned around, okay. Minion really nicely running this way, because if he would go through the harvesters, they could for 1 second retarget to him and basically one-shot him, when there is so many of them. He's on the unholy ground now, that's really important. He got a few hits there, and now even if he pulls the harvester back, the summoner shouldn't die anymore. But he definitely wants to stay on the unholy ground, so this is definitely a mistake. But Hive is there, so that's the important thing. He's getting another summoner. And Suvak is also going for expansion now, which he of course saw here. So he's trying to match that. And second hive will be actually happening here in the back, which is probably fine. He will fill this later with buildings anyways. Forgot summoner actually, GG. MaCrOzerg a little bit overreacting here. But we can see 6 harvesters on gold. And another one rallied to gold, but he will immediately pull them there, okay. He could have already maybe put together a little bit more wood or even some gems, but this is also fine. Trying to maximize the gold. But 2 is definitely not enough. He has 5 here and 2 here, so he definitely needs to split it 3 and 4. Which he now did. And he's still on 2 hives. Getting some first stingers. Suvak not even making a first warrior, just going... Actually now he made 1 warrior, sorry. He made 1 warrior, but he's immediately going for Goblin Hut, trying to get the Goblin Hunters and Riders there. And yeah. Pretty much looking really decent. MaCrOzerg 6 population ahead, but now struggling with population a little bit. As you can see, Suvak now has enough population to produce new units. So here we'll have to see a new summoner. Actually 2 of them at once, and maybe even more, because he will still have to wait for control form anyways, and control form is the same time as production time of summoner. So if you guys are kept on population as Fallen, and you are producing a summoner to then put him into control form to fix the population cap problem, which as you can see MaCrOzerg is not really doing here, just AFK summoner, but he was probably controlling the other one. You want to in the meantime start producing another summoner if you have the resources for it, because you are waiting anyways. You can't produce a harvester now because you are still capped, and it's 18 seconds for the control form, same as the production time of the summoner, so you can easily fill that time. Of course we have to quit immediately. As you can see, this will be a little bit too late, but he still doesn't have that many gold anyways to double produce harvesters, so he's pretty much fine. So yeah, Stingers scouting the enemy base, so I once again skipping totem, not really necessary to build it, so it's completely fine that he skipped it. 1 Stinger here for scouting, warrior coming back, he can easily deal with these 2 Stingers if necessary, but they probably won't fight. Maybe we can one-shot this one. Nice, really good value there from for Suvak. He's a little bit over getting gold here, I would say. He should definitely start getting the gems. Will be valuable for later, or maybe even more wood. There is also 1 idle minion here that finished the Dark Altar. Weapon Master immediately starting the Sharp Blade upgrade for 1 extra damage for goblins and warriors. And also now we can start making witches thanks to the Dark Altar. So you can see, of course, MaCrOzerg immediately going for a third base. It's already almost finished before Suvak can even get out of his base to potentially go for a base. But now he's going for it, bringing army there to clear it, because of course there is a Stinger Scout. Right behind it is the minion going for the expansion. So MaCrOzerg now knows that Suvak is going for expansion here. Almost certainly, yeah, he didn't see it, but of course there was a whole army hunting down this Stinger, yeah, clearing this area. So it's kinda obvious. But Suvak doesn't have a tower here, so he still wants to be careful. I think he's on hold position here maybe, so Stingers can't just run into the base. But he has to be like in the middle of the bases. He can get surrounded, but he needs to be able to protect both of them. He doesn't have resources to make a tower even here now, so he has to be pretty careful. But MaCrOzerg doesn't really have any units. He has few Stingers that are pretty much harmless, so even if Suvak is split like this, it's enough to just catch the units. Even though, of course, yeah, Barons have to be careful, they are taking more damage. But now there is also Bloodlust, yeah, so Suvak is pretty much fine. This will finish really quickly, but still, he doesn't have it yet, while MaCrOzerg is already gathering here. He even made a Vile Cocoon, so he's actually making guards, okay, so some air harassment. You don't see that too often from MaCrOzerg in this matchup. But he's also getting Dimension Gate. Actually, he already has Dimension Gate, and now he's getting Astral Node. And also a 5th Hive. Still no towers anywhere. I think it's a mistake, but it's not really necessary yet, because the beast wants to play a little bit more defensively, since he has to protect himself. Expansion finished. I would expect some minion transfers, like at least 3 from each base, maybe even more from here, since there is a lot. But at least the newly produced ones are going here, so that might be enough. Another arena, so 3 in total, and also Lizard Fortress. He's also getting his Harpy for scouting. Armor upgrade now, so there will be 1 and 1. So no trolls yet, and also no revive altar for superior boomerang. Seems like he wants to go for fast warlocks with the Lizard Fortress, or maybe even like Striders or Wyverns. But of course MaCrOzerg is accumulating his guards, so he can go for a air push soon. For which, I mean, goblins are strong enough to deal with that. Actually, okay, guards are already here, I didn't really see that. I thought he has only those at his home, but okay, some small harassment here. He forced the villagers away for a second, so small value from that. But he can't lose the guards, otherwise he will lose more value than what he gained. There is that one Harpy, but that won't deal with this, and goblins are of course slow, so yeah, the strategy here when you don't have totems on your villagers, which is, let's say, a small mistake, but he didn't really have the extra resources for it yet. The best strategy is just to place goblins into each base like this and just wait it out. Here he is also prepared, even tried to make a totem, didn't really work out yet. But also Stingers are coming, there are some guards, he could also bring these pretty easily, these are air units, so he doesn't have to worry about there being Abyss. Stingers of course nice value there on the Barons, so really good harassment on this base, and in the meantime he's of course using this time to make 2 more bases, so getting a really strong economical advantage. I mean, at the same time he also lost all of his Stingers here. But if we have some guards here, also here, unfortunately yeah, here are already too many Harpies, and Harpies are pretty decent fighting units. They also gain the damage buff from the upgrades you get for goblins and warriors. They don't get armor upgrades, but damage yes, so all of these blade upgrades in Weapon Master are also for them. And they have pretty high HP by default, they have 300. And these are even leveled up already, so another 30 HP, plus 2 more damage, yes, so 21 even here. So pretty decent unit, also 2 armor. They can definitely deal with the guards pretty easily if there isn't too many of them. And they can also have confusions, of course. So if there is a Stalker, they can also deal with that. So MaCrOzerg basically gaining control of half of the map, while Suvak is locked here on 3 bases. But population is still balanced, and even though this might seem like a counter army, I am not too confident about it. Actually, he doesn't have confusion yet, okay, that's a small problem of course, but I think maybe MaCrOzerg doesn't have Defile yet. Or maybe yes, he's not getting it, so he probably has it already. Warlock here, depends if he has Poison Fox. He definitely has Defiles. Okay, no Poison Fog, he's making Guardian Runes. Where is his building? He's not getting a Poison Fog, so either he just didn't use it for some reason, or he He's not even getting it because he doesn't have gems for it. It costs 150 gems. There's some nice defiles, decent damage, but now there are the confusions and that will cause him, of course, the stalkers. This is a problem if you have only air army, because you don't, of course, have dispels. With only air, you need void walkers, and that's not really possible to bring with you into these air fights. So now when MaCrOzerg saw this with the confusions, he should probably transfer to full ground army. And not really Avengers, because confusions are too big of a counter for that. I mean, if you get full Avengers and you get enough void walkers, it can work. But outside of that, I would probably just rather go for Nightmares, Matriarchs, and Spitters. But he already made a Chamber of the Avenger. He's getting 3 Vengeance Halls. Also 1 Dimension Gate here. Another Vengeance Hall is here, and he's actually going for the Avengers. Okay, so we'll see that. His air army is slowly moving away. He made all the bases, but once again, they are not really saturated, so he's not really getting the economical advantage yet. Also, no towers anywhere. Now he could already definitely afford them. He maybe needs to saturate his wood a little bit more, but outside of that, he could easily afford it. But looks like he doesn't want to care about defense. He rather just harasses here with his air, trying to kill the reinforcements of Subak that are coming to his main army. That is just kind of slowly moving here, trying to protect new bases, because Subak knows that he's behind on economy and he needs to quickly catch up by getting some fast bases there. But MaCrOzerg is just kinda trying to slow down the game, maybe even destroy some buildings, trying to utilize the movement speed advantage, of course. Not getting any more bases, seems like 6 is enough for him. Actually, okay, he's going for a 7th one now. But overall, yeah, he's not that much ahead, and now he's really struggling with the wood. I would just take half of these villagers now and bring them to wood. There's no reason to not do that, you don't need the gold. Or even on more bases, maybe. He actually decided to go do it here, but it's less efficient, of course. Here we have the incubator, so it's much closer. This base he should, of course, cancel. It will be lost summoner, but okay, he's already dead anyways. And yeah, now Subak is going for the timing push, but he's still like 50 population behind. Of course, MaCrOzerg has most of his population in economy, in villagers. Also still no void walkers for these spells. But this seems decent. Unfortunately, now there are the manticores, all the splash damage, so the stingers will just disappear. Also a push around the back, so it's not looking that good. MaCrOzerg will lose lots of units here, and Subak still is on 4 bases. He's not gathering here fully, but I mean, MaCrOzerg also doesn't have it really. Actually, there is already a decent amount of harvesters everywhere, but it's not full yet. And still no towers here, just why are no towers anywhere? He doesn't have any trolls, so towers will be so valuable. But it wasn't done here. Avengers, of course, trying to hold there, but they don't have the damage. This one needs to be pulled back. It was pulled back, okay. Manticores are tanking damage from the spitters. That's definitely not ideal. There is a stalker to deal with them, so they should be retargeted on the ground. Definitely, maybe even focus fire down these goblin hunters. That would be really efficient. And Subak actually didn't get another base in the meantime. He's still on the 4 bases. He of course stopped this base of MaCrOzerg, but that's about it. And now he's getting a really... this is the problem, yeah. If you make a timing push with beats, you just have to commit to it and go for it, or retreat soon enough. If you just continue pushing until you start losing suddenly, and then try to pull back, you will just lose everything anyways because you are slow. So this wasn't ideal. Subak lost lots of units, but he's regrouping. Now he has the Warlocks there with Poison Fox definitely ready. And since Avengers don't have immunity to magic anymore, Poison Fox will be really dangerous. And I feel like MaCrOzerg definitely needs to get Void Walkers there as soon as possible, but he actually maybe just now made his Hall of Whispers. There is one Void Walker here. Probably even forgot about him. This is Tower Rush here. But once again, yeah, if there would be one Lightning Spark, this wouldn't be possible. So he's just creating more problems for him. He can deal with it probably with the Harvesters, but it's another task he has to focus on. But now he's pushing Subak back. He's 60 population ahead. Not that many goblins, so Stingers can still get some value there. Nice defile. Warlocks, no Poison Fox. Maybe he still didn't get a Poison Fox, that would be really weird. But definitely nice clearance of the Stalkers there. He just confused them and killed them with the Manticores. Also at least one Avenger is confused here. But yeah, just no Poison Fox for some reason. I really think Subak just didn't get a Poison Fox for some reason, but he's not getting a one now. There is some small poison from the Yeah, now he got a poison fog. It was ultra late. I think he had it the whole time. For some reason it wasn't casted. Maybe he didn't have mana, but he was spending it on other things. I'm not sure what happened there, but poison fog would definitely make it way better for Subak. Now he's already really too behind. He's locked on population and doesn't even have 100 population, and MaCrOzerg is on full. He has half of the map under his control. His only problem now is wood a little bit, but he doesn't really have any major problems. Getting some spitters there, stingers, avengers. We still don't really see the voidwalkers, but since Subak wasn't using the poison fogs, it really wasn't a problem. Also, we don't see any rains of fire. I don't even think he has a mouth of hell. Yeah, he kind of skipped that. So that's also not a danger. Even though with that, even anti-magic won't help you, but it's still good to have the voidwalkers there, definitely. Maybe you can even freeze the warlocks before they can cast something, yeah, so just always really useful. Even though we want to be careful with freezes, because if you freeze the enemy and he has lots of warlocks, he can just revert it and freeze your whole army, which he wouldn't be able to do otherwise, so sometimes you have to be careful against warlocks, but you can also just place anti-magic under your army, and if he reflects it, it will be dispelled immediately as well. So they are both spending here, that should be... I mean, maybe the minions will kill it, but just few units from MaCrOzerg should fix that. Parasiticus actually, 2 upgrades. MaCrOzerg only 1-1, he's kind of neglecting the upgrades there. Avengers actually 0. 2-0 for Trolls. But yeah, another base that is getting taken by MaCrOzerg, and yeah, basically everything that is available is already taken. Here the minions kinda cleared it, now actually harvesters are coming, but there is also a totem, 2 trolls. So I should be able to hold that. At the same time he's also losing here, so that's not ideal. But he still managed to get a little bit higher on the population, he just doesn't have the resources to continue, eh? He doesn't have the income anymore, he has only 1 working base here that is almost empty, and yeah, eventually he actually calls it GG, even though he still had 120 population. Just didn't really want to bother fighting this last fight, because yeah, overall he had basically no chance anymore since MaCrOzerg had the whole map. So yeah, eventually MaCrOzerg managed to redeem himself with a win here after 23 minutes on the Eclipse map. Basically equal kills and losses, experience as well, researches, buildings, everything is pretty equal. MaCrOzerg just had way more resources thanks to the map control and the pressure he was able to produce in the early game. So yeah, 11,000 more gold for him, almost double gems as well, so really good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one, so take care guys.